Hi there, it's Suzanne from SunStampin.com. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat. I'm coming to you today with a little bit of a unique type of a box. This is just a box that I made with the DSP. So it's all colored and fun. I don't have any real red ribbon, but I think that would be really, or even a bright blue or something like that, wrapped around a belly band. But this is with cardstock, and we've decorated that up. So I thought, again, you know, some of my projects I really enjoy making to put aromatherapy products in for some of my friends and family. They get inundated with pieces of bits of soap and oh, God bless them. Anyway, so it's probably what I'm going to be using these little boxes for. But they are a really nice size, 4.5 and 1 inch and by 2. So I wanted to show you though that you could use, if something very light is going in here, you could use this DSP or Designer Series paper from Stampin' Up. You could use just the paper. You don't have to use the cardstock. It's whether or not you want a little bit of a sturdier box or more protection. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to bring out my little score tool. You've seen me use this a million times. So all we're going to use, believe it or not, is a bit of 12x4 cardstock. And with the long side at the top, oh, and just to reiterate, there is on this tool, which is called a stylus, they have the nib. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that. There's a big one and then there's a small one. So if you are just going to use the DSP for your box, you would use the larger one. The smaller one is more for cardstock. It can score much easier without ripping or tearing or breaking the paper. So that's the reason why there's two different sides. I haven't ever been told that, but that's what I do. So for the cardstock, I like to use the smaller side. So we are going to score at 1 inch here. And again at 5.5, 6.5, and 11. Oops. Flipping it around, we're going to score at 1 and 3. And I promise I'm going all the way down. You probably can't see that. Off to the side. So fold and burnish all of the sides. And I'm going to use a little bit of DSP. The video I just did before this one, I had my DSP completely cut wrong. Whoopsie. I also wanted to mention that this DSP comes from a paper stack called the Fresh Prints Designer Series paper stack. I've shown it and I've kind of picked apart at it, but the colors and the patterns are really cute, and it does give you a hint on the cardstock that you would need to match. We've used Coastal Cabana, Crumb Cake, Real Red, and Whisper White. So before I go into cutting or anything, I'm just going to get this snail out. I think this video is going to be pretty quick, so that's the reason why I have decided to do my adhesive adhering on camera. So I am using I'm so not used to talking and crafting at the same time. Have you noticed? The DSP. Well, the sizing for the DSP is 4 1/4 by 1 3/4. You'll need one of them for the lid. Then the two 4 1/4 by 3/4 of an inch on the sides, and 1 3/4 and 3/4. Or not very good with fractions or even naming them. My friends are going to laugh at me because I'm just completely, they're amazed that I would even do this because math is not my thing. Okay, so this is what you should have, and obviously I'm doing the cardstock, the one with 3 sides. I suppose I could have put one on the bottom. I didn't think about it actually until just this second, but that would have made sense. You might want to do a second one on the bottom there. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm cutting those 2 sides. I'm going to cut up on the middle piece as well, all up on the score lines. And I don't think I've done a box like this before, so this is the top. So these sides are going to stick to the top like that, and these sides are going to stick to that, if you can see and understand. There's the lid, and this is the body. I usually do. I mean, I think I've only done boxes with 2 pieces or lid before, or an actual lid that folds inside, so far. So I'm using Tombow. You could use sticky strip for this, and I mentioned in the other video that I just did last week that there is a method to madness when you are dealing with adhesives. So when you are making a box such as this, what you want to do is use like snail. I could have used, I don't think I did, but I could have used snail to adhere that together and it would have stayed. Paper to paper is really good with snail, in case you don't know what that is. And paper to card, so DSP paper to this card is fine. It's going to stay nicely. But card to card is not fabulous. Oops, I made that a little tiny, a little snug. So you can see how that's bowling up on itself. I don't know if I have. Sorry for the squeaky chair. Oh, I do. I'm going to use a little ribbon trim to hold that closed to make it look a little prettier. I haven't done that on the other 2, and they advise that you keep your ribbon on the spool, and I seriously don't know how people do that. It drives me crazy. Virgo. Okay, so tying a knot. Should we do a bow? Okay. I always fuss with bows until they're absolutely perfect, and pressure of being on video will make, obviously, them look awful. Just like that. Grief. Hang on, wait, I'll get it. Oh, that's kind of cute, the way it's sort of going off to the side. And I think sometimes this is the ruffle trim that, there we go. Alright, sorry, I'm taking up too much time here. Just a little bit of trimming going on. So I'm going to do a little bit of a stamping as well. So obviously that folds those sides down, so it would become a belly band, and the person who is receiving this lovely little handmade box would take it apart. Oh, and one other thing too I would do is take my little scalloped punch, and I'm just giving it, eyeballing it basically. I'm not one for ribbon, I'll be honest. But in the new catalog, there is some really fantastic ribbon that I can't wait to get my hands on. As a matter of fact, when they did the catalog launch, they had called it Yummy. So that's kind of a neat way of describing something. So I'm going to use a little piece of extra Whisper White today and get my Coastal Cabana out. Should I do happy birthday? Maybe I'll do thank you. I really should clean that off, but I'm lazy. So, that gave a really neat, unique. I'm going to be cleaning that ink pad now forever, aren't I? I wanted to show you that if you want to, you don't necessarily have to have a banner punch. You could do a simple banner. Oh, I did it on the wrong side. Oh, whoopsie. Thank goodness there's two sides to things. There. There we go. And maybe I will get my Coastal Cabana sponge out. And do the edges a little bit. I'm kind of winging these videos right now. I just had an idea of just sort of being impromptu and see what I could come up with. Oh, isn't that cute? Now, if I actually wanted to, I could go in with my Coastal Cabana extra piece. Let's see how good this is. I mean, it is possible not to have a fancy trimmer. You can go in and just like this with long scissor strokes and this is how you do it. You cut down the center and then and the corners to the center, just like that. Slightly off. It's way off actually. Winging it. Oh, that's okay. You understood kind of where I was coming from there. I am trying to show you, I have to craft on a budget, just like probably very many of you do. So it's kind of neat to see some techniques that you actually don't need. That looks okay. Oh, Virgo in me is going to stress out right now, so it's not perfect. That's okay. You know what? I'll put dimensionals on it, or what I could do, So I could just snip that off just ever so slightly. There. I love the idea of having two sides to a piece of paper. In case you have a little flub, you can flip it over. And I flip up all the time. Yeah, that's so cute. So I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I'm winging it. It was a really beautiful day today here in Kelowna, British Columbia, Canada. It was what we consider a May long weekend, so Victoria Day. So I got the day off, and I was busy doing crafting. Hands are completely messed up. I think I'm going to use a little bit. Shall I do a pearl? That bow's driving me, but it's fine. That's what you get for winging it. Okay. I don't know if I gave you the, I can't remember if I gave you the DSP, but measurements, hopefully I did. If not, I definitely will have this on my blog, the dimensions and all the colors and the information on how to get this. And I hope you enjoyed the projects today. Come back to my blog and see me at sunstampin.com, and that's sun spelled with 2 N's. Thanks again. Bye.